Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. I haven't sat here in a couple of weeks. It's been a bit of a blur around here with a whole bunch of things going on, been out of town, all that, but I'm back and I have a video for you. And today I'm in the Luminar Neo and I'm going to be talking about presets. I'm going to share a raw file with you and we're going to build a preset together with that file. I'm going to give you a bunch of presets that are available to anyone that subscribes to my newsletter. And we're going to walk through just some editing tips and tricks and hopefully have a lot of fun doing it. So this is the photo that's in question. If you want to download this raw file, it is at the link down below. It's free to you. There's no whatever. Just download the file and you can follow along with me as we build a preset. And I'm going to talk about how I go about building presets, that sort of thing. Also, there's a number of preset improvements in the last couple of updates to Luminar Neo. I wanted to walk through and kind of cover those and share some of that stuff. And then, of course, just share some tips and tricks along the way. So if you need to pause the video, download this photo at the link below. And also, if you want to join my email newsletter, you're going to get a bunch of preset packs and a bunch of other things that will help you get better at editing in Luminar Neo. Feel free to pause the video and come back. I'll be right here waiting for you. So the first thing I want to do is talk about the preset improvements in Luminar Neo, because there's quite a bit of them, as I said, in the last couple of months. The first one is this section up here where it says for this photo. They've made some changes to this where it will suggest some of these packs which are included in Luminar. It will also include something like in the actual marketplace. So it'll make a suggestion here. And the cool thing is that's different is you can now get a preview of these presets on your actual photo, as you can see here. Now, I'm not going to use any of these presets, and these don't really work for this photo according to the style that I want to edit it in. It's getting closer with some of these, but the point is you can do those previews, so I think that's pretty awesome. Now, backing out, there's also this recently added section where you can see these are two of the preset packs you'll get for free on my newsletter. But if you click See All, you can see all the recently added preset packs. Now, each of these is all the different preset packs that I have available. Some are free and some are available in the Luminar Marketplace or as part of my courses. But just to give you a hint, for free you get spring moods, winter moods, autumn moods, you get landscapes, and you get this quick start preset pack. Again, all for free on my newsletter. But the point is you have all these different presets available to you, either from people like me or some of my other friends, but also all these built-in different preset packs, which I think is pretty cool. If you want to expand that even further, another update at the bottom here is new marketplace arrivals, where you can click on preset packs and you can preview these, not on your photo like in that earlier example, but on the marketplace photo that they have as an example, and you can just add it to cart right away. By the way, if you do purchase or download any of these free presets from me or other people or from the marketplace, put that file on your desktop. When you're ready to add it to Luminar, just click File, Add Luminar Neo Preset Collection, and just go click that. It'll install it, and it will show up as a purchased preset pack, which is in this purchased category. Now, the other thing that's really cool that I think is super helpful is, let's say you go into your purchased category, you can now fave different preset packs and they will show up in favorites. So I'm going to go ahead and just click these three, which are my three seasonal autumn, winter, and spring moods. Summer moods is coming soon. So again, by joining my newsletter, you'll get the summer moods preset pack here, I don't know, in a month or so, whenever it's ready. Bottom line is here you can fave these, and now when you back up to this main menu, you have a favorites category. Clicking that, you will see each of these three preset packs that I just faved. You'll notice there's a collections tab. There's also a presets tab. So I'm going to go into these individual packs and I'll just fave a couple of presets in a couple of these packs and show you another cool thing. Now, these are collections that are faved, but what I'm doing is faving individual presets within each collection. So now when I back out to favorites, you can see there's my collections. I also can click on presets, and here are those faved presets from the individual collections. So I think that's pretty cool, but the other thing that's really neat is you can sort and reorder these faves, right? So you can come in here and do a custom order, recently added preset name sorting, but you can also just drag and drop if you want to. So I can move these around to reorganize them. And you can also do that with collections. Maybe I want to put spring moods. No, let's say I want to put autumn moods at the top. I clicked into the preset. But there you go. So you can reorder these. I think that's pretty awesome. So you can do that with collections and presets. Now, the other thing that you can do is actually now right-click and delete a collection. Please don't do that with the preset packs I'm giving you for free. I'm just kidding. You can do whatever you want with them, of course, but you do have the ability to delete a collection if you decide you don't want it. And that really concludes all the new stuff that's available. So I'm going to go over to Edit, and we're going to jump into editing this particular photo. Now, before I dive in, it is a RAW file. It was shot with an iPhone 16 Pro. It's a DNG file, and I want to point out, because it's an iPhone, it's not perfectly crisp everywhere, right? It was just a quick snap in the Portland Japanese garden, which is beautiful, but I love the photo. It's gorgeous, but just know that it's soft in a few spots. But hey, so am I. So we're all friends here, and we're just going to have fun making this preset. So first things first, I'm going to start in Develop Raw. It is a RAW file. It's a DNG shot with my iPhone 16 Pro. The first thing I want to do is pull down the highlights, and I'm doing like a low -20s, so call it 23, and I'm going to lift the shadows a little bit. Let's call that an 11. I will be calling out the specific numbers here so that you can follow along, because we're going to save this as our own preset, which you can use again and again and again, right? So before and after, pretty simple stuff. Now, having done that, I'm going to go into curves. And I don't talk a lot about curves, but it's an incredibly handy tool. All I'm going to do is drop a point right there and slightly lift it, and then drop a point about down here and slightly pull it down. All that's doing is creating a very minor S-curve just to increase contrast slightly in the photo. In the color, I'm going to go in here, and I'm not going to touch temperature or tint or saturation, but I am going to bring up vibrance a little bit. So let's call that about a 15. That's just popping some of the non-dominant colors. And as you can see, there's a lot of color in this tree. This is a famous tree in the Japanese garden in Portland, and it's honestly gorgeous. And I'm going to take sharpening to about a 22 overall. So, first things first, or I should say, so far, before and after, a decent little impact on the overall look of the photo. And we're now done with Develop Raw, and I'm going to move into the tool that I pretty much always use second, and that is Super Contrast. And that's because this is about adjusting the light. It gives me a great amount of control. And what I usually do with Super Contrast is I usually pull the individual sliders for highlights, midtones, and shadows to like a 24, 25, somewhere like that. I just bring it up a little bit. And as you can see, it's already impacting the color in the photo, because contrast affects color. So keep that in mind when you're editing a photo and also when you're building presets. Now, what I want to do is play with the balance a little bit. So I ended up going to like a -24 on the highlights. And in midtones, I want a little bit more, like a -35. And in shadows, I usually go to the right, because that will create a little bit deeper shadow. But here, because it's already fairly contrasty, I ended up going like a -15, which lightens some of those shadows a little bit. That tree is got a lot of shadow on, especially the upper branches. But if you look overall before and after with Super Contrast, I think we've made a nice impact on the photo. And what I want to do now is, of course, get into my favorite thing, which is color. So we're going to jump into color harmony. On brilliance and warmth, I'm going to leave brilliance at pretty low. Actually, both of these are going to be pretty low. I'm going to do about a 10 on brilliance, and I end up going to about an 11 on warmth. That is creating more saturation and brightness in the warm colors, which I like. I'm trying to play that up in this photo. Next, I'll go into split color warmth, and I'm going to go to about a 22 on warmth here. So it's going to really start popping those warm colors. I'm going to leave the cool alone. When you drag the warmth to the right in split color warmth, it basically increases or amplifies the warm colors. Whereas if you go left with warmth, it'll neutralize them, right? I don't want to do that. I'm playing up the warmth, so I'm going to go to 22. I'm going to leave the cool tones alone, but I am going to jump into color balance. Now, color balance is an amazing tool. I absolutely love it. And what I'm going to do here is start in shadows, and I'm actually going to take the blue in the shadows to about a 17. All that's doing is cooling off the shadows. And if you think about it, shadows to me, by definition, should be a little bit cooler. Also makes them a little bit darker. So I'm playing up contrast while actually playing with a color slider. So that's shadows. Next, I'm going to go into midtones, and I'm going to take the cyan and red to the right, just about 5. And all that's doing is creating more red in the midtones And then I'm going to go into highlights and do a very similar thing. I'm only going to go to about a 4 here. So the red goes to 4. You can see these colors are really coming to life. That's why I'm not doing too big of a movement here. I realize I want a little bit bigger in the shadows, but that's cooling it off. But especially with these warm colors, just keep in mind you don't want to overdo it. And I've already got brilliance and warmth popping and the warmth up here and split color warmth popping. So in highlights and midtones, as I go to the red, very, very minor increments, I'm just kind of nudging it in that direction so that I have a nice overall impact to color without really overdoing it. So that's before color harmony and that's after. And if that's overdoing it for you, totally cool. All you do is pull down brilliance and warmth or split color warmth. Pull those down a little bit so that you're not going too high to your taste. Speaking of going high, I'm going to get into landscape category and I'm going to go to golden hour and I'm going to give that like a 10 or an 11. So let's call that an 11. And that's really creating a lot more color because golden hour, it takes all the warm tones, it just gives them a little nudge in that direction. So before and after, a bit more vibrance and pop in those warm colors, but I like it. I think it looks really nice. Okay, next up is Vignette, and I was essentially done with the edit after using Vignette, but I'm going to do one more thing afterwards. So the Vignette's going to come down, and that's like a negative 34, 35. All I'm doing is just kind of creating the size of the Vignette, and speaking of size, I'm going to go to about a 28 here. So I'm creating a little bit of a darkness around the edges. Obviously, that's what a Vignette is. So before and after, but I want to do a little bit more. So go into advanced settings and roundness, I end up going to about a 50 here. I tend to like a little bit rounder Vignette. Feathering, I go to about a 50 as well. And it depends on the photo. I will usually go pretty high on feathering. Many times I'll go all the way to 100. I didn't this time, but it just seasoned to taste. And then inner light, one of my favorite sliders in really all of Luminar. It's the best slider for increasing the look of what a vignette is doing to your photo, I think, because it brightens that middle. Now keep in mind, you can choose subject and you can click choose subject, and as you bounce around, it's going to change where the inside, that inner light is being applied because you're choosing something other than the default setting, which is the middle of the photo. And in fact, I think I might pull that down a little bit and do something about like that. So I've lowered that a little bit, choose subject, and before and after for Vignette, before and after, you can see how the brightening has happened a little bit lower as opposed to the middle of the photo. So at this point, I was done with the photo, but then I realized one thing I want to do. This was shot just a couple of weeks ago in Portland. It's spring. It's already got red leaves on the tree, so it's not a fall image, but it kind of looks like it. And I want it to be a little bit more of a spring image. And so for me, what that means is I want to impact the look of some of these yellows. And so the last little touch that I did is I go into color, I go into HSL, and that's where Hue is, honestly, your best friend. So in fall images, and in fact, those autumn moods presets, I do this quite a bit. But for fall images, I want these yellows to go more toward the orange, right? More like that. I don't want to do that here. I want to nudge them to the right and make them a little bit more green because I'm going to play up that green, which is a little bit more vibrant and cooler color. And I want to create a little bit of that contrast between kind of the greens and the reds, right? So I'm taking the yellows and I'm dragging that to the right. And I go about 25. And then on greens, instead of going to the left, which is what I normally do to accentuate a fall image, because it's spring, I'm dragging that to the right about a 45. So it creates a little bit more of that vibrant green kind of look. So let me show you this hue adjustment, these two hue adjustments and what they did to the photo before and after, especially if you look at the greens, which is the bottom, this moss on the ground, and that little bit of green that's coming through the tree canopy because the tree is red leaves. These are trees that are in the background. By the way, one of my favorite things to do is get the wide angle setting on an iPhone and get really low up under something and shoot it. That's what I did here in case you were curious. But these hue adjustments have allowed me to kind of ratchet back some of that yellow kind of fall look and create a little bit more color contrast to make a little bit more vibrant greens overall. So before and after, and that's what color did for me. If you look at the overall before and after, that's the photo. Now I want to save this as a preset. So in this bottom left corner, just click where those three dots are and click Save as Preset. And you can name this whatever you want. I'm going to call this Tree 1. And then you just hit Enter and it shows up in my presets. And as you know, you can reorder these by dragging and dropping or just doing the sorting. because what I showed you earlier, that works for the My Presets section as well. Now, having done that, one other thing I want to show you is, let's say, and I don't want to do that in this photo, but you may every now and then create a preset and also think, gosh, this might look cool as a black and white. I'm going to come in and create a black and white and just convert that. And as much as I love the color, I also think it looks pretty cool as a black and white. So I did that, and you can just save this as a preset as well. So again, bottom left menu, click those three dots, save as preset, and this is going to be Tree 2. So Tree 2 is showing up there in the My Presets category. So you can just do that and experiment with your photos. I'm actually going to go back to Tree 1 because I like looking at that color version. But you can do lots of things like that with presets, experiment, kind of play around, including coming in and adding additional things like mystical, which creates that nice kind of dreamy look. I like that quite a bit, so maybe I'll apply some mystical. Bottom line is you have the raw file, so download that if you haven't yet. You have copious amounts of my free presets, which you get from joining my newsletter, and you've got all these different options that are now available in the preset menu in Luminar Neo. That's what I wanted to walk through in this video, my friends. I appreciate you guys following along. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll be back soon with another video. You guys take care of yourselves. I'll be back soon, and until then, my friends, adios.